We will move to item 1.2. Paige, do we have a microphone or? No? Okay, I'll do it from here. Okay. Today, oh, we got one. Good. Because I'm going to ask former member McDonald to come up. Today we have the great honor to say thank you to our former board member. Thank him for his service. Thank him for his friendship, his tremendous leadership on what turned out to be one of our three major goals last year as well as this year. That's the issue of veterans, and I think we would all agree that we would have nowhere near the success that we've had on that issue and or visibility on that issue without the leadership of Bobby. I'd also like to thank him for his humor. While on the board, he was just a lot of fun to be around and lightened up our board meetings as well as informed them. So I think we owe him a great thank you for his service. Bobby, we miss you on this board. We hope that you always stay in touch. We look forward to continuing our work with you on veterans, as you've informed me that you're not going away on that issue, which is good news for all of us. So we do have a resolution for Bobby, but before that, I know a couple members wanted to make some comments, so I'm going to start with his co-chair on the Veterans Committee, Manuel Baca.
Well, thank you, Scott. It's been a real pleasure working with Bobby for the last couple of years. We're both Titans. We were both members of the Department of the Navy. As he likes to say, Marines don't know how to get around, but the Navy shows them how. And so there we are. We work well as a team, and that certainly has been true for the last couple of years. Earlier this year, he said, you better put your walking shoes on, because Alice and yourself and I are going to go out to the Pentagon, and we're going to get a tour. And boy, did we get a tour. I'm sure we didn't see everything, but those of you who have been in the building, actually been in the building, it is a massive building. You could spend days there just walking around, and we did that. We saw a lot of interesting stuff. You know, he does a great job with the Black Chamber of Commerce. He has annual dinner, and last year, talk about grand epic, there we are, and next thing you know, he's got this officer from Afghanistan in this big screen talking to his family right there in front of everyone. It was a great event. But you know, he runs around quite a bit. Adult school graduation speaker at Mount SAC. So you know, he makes his way around. I can always count on him to be a real vets advocate, to be out there knowing the people, knowing where he needs to go and what's needed. So it's been a real pleasure working with him the last couple of years, but we haven't finished yet. Yeah. We're still moving along, and I know that both he and I took great pleasure in seeing the vets program being recognized at Santa Barbara City College. Magdalena Torres under her stewardship there and work, and you know we're going to continue to do some stuff, Bobby, and it's been great having you on the board, and it's going to be great working with you, continue to work with you.
Thank you. Vice President Perez.
Bobby and I joined the board on the same day and had the privilege of going through the Senate confirmation hearing with him, which was great because he knew everybody. And he's just been a great pleasure to work with. Many of you have seen his passion around our veterans and what he has done with that committee and working with Manuel. I mean, the two of them have just done a phenomenal job, and I just want to commend him for that passion that he's demonstrated. If anybody at all wants to know what's happening happened in the last 4 years on this Board of Governors. He's a tremendous historian, so he can tell you everything, facts, dates, times, people present, in addition to whatever else has happened in the past 50 years with sports and community colleges and everything else. He's a wonderful historian, and I will definitely miss that as well. And the other thing is, oftentimes, our chancellor gets out there. He's in a lot of locations. But I can't help but say, oftentimes I'd say, where's Bobby? Because, where's Waldo? It was, where's Bobby? He did a tremendous job of representing the Board of Governors, I think, and really being a very actively engaged Board of Governors. I mean, normally we see the chancellor out there a lot representing the community colleges, and oftentimes the president is also out there. Bobby took his responsibility as a Board of Governors very seriously, and he also took student success very seriously, and I want to commend him for both of those efforts. You will definitely be missed, but I know you are not far away.
Chancellor Scott.
Well, all I can say almost is just underline what the rest have said about Bobby and what he's meant to this board. I will tell you that he and Manuel are right now working on a Veterans Summit, and we will, fortunately, that contact that we made with J.P. Morgan Chase, they're going to underwrite the summit. And so that means that the expenses are taken care of, and always that's a fairly important part of any event. And they're working with the Faculty Association as well. So that's just an indication of the tireless work that Bobby McDonald has given to this effort. He has certainly taken an interest in the veterans, but he's also taken an interest in the entire scope of what community colleges do. And I have been privileged to be chancellor during most of the time he served here on the Board of Governors. He was already on board when I got here. And so we wish you the very best, Bobby, but we also thank you very deeply for all the contributions that you made to California community colleges.
Okay, we have a resolution for Bobby, and I see about a dozen whereases or so. So I'll just kind of summarize in my own way. Whereas Bobby McDonald is one heck of an individual, an unbelievably valued member of this board, and whereas we at the Board of Governors will always view Bobby McDonald as a friend, a colleague from here on out. Congratulations.
Oh, photos. Oh, gosh.
Take the,
Yeah.
Very important.
You got to get here on.
I'll get that.
All right. What do you want now? Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on, Alice. Alice, come on, you're a board meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks of this group.
Is that working?
Well, first of all, go Seahawks. This all started with me going to L.A. Harbor College and understanding the value of the community college system. So it was really, it was a no-brainer coming in, understanding the value of students, and then taking it a little bit further and understanding those components inside the community college system that need to be worked on. I just happen to be very, very fortunate enough to have gone through the system, learned from the system, and then I got a chance to give back in a myriad of ways. And by being on the Board of Governors, I'm very, very blessed to being able to understand some of the issues and come in and play. I found a niche in veterans that needed to be worked on. Had great support from all the board members. I mean, Lance Izumi, when he was president, said, I need a couple of volunteers, and I volunteered you to be part of the thing with the U.S. Army. Okay, they called me a couple weeks ago and wanted me to jump out the plane, but I got a banquet on the 25th, so I can't be a Golden Knight until after the banquet, but I will have my wings. I will be a Golden Knight. I will jump, okay? But as Alice said, we've been through the wars together and got a 36-0, so we were blessed by the Senate. And Gary Reed has taught me how to keep my powder dry so that I do the things the right way and don't irritate too many people along the way. Manuel just this week we probably played phone tag, the most we've ever done, but once a week or twice a week we're on the phone talking about veterans. The community college system matters a lot to me. It's been very good to me. I'm also very proud because last year at this time we were saying thank you to another board member, Pastor Smith. And I remember when I embraced him and gave him a hug down there, and he said, "Now, little brother, you've got to carry on the torch here." And that's what, and Pastor Smith, you've got to carry on the tradition for Alpha Phi Alpha. If you don't know, well, you probably don't, but there have been 4 in the history, there we go, Alice. Okay, in the history, the 40-some-odd year history of the Board of Governors, there have been 12 African Americans that have been on the Board of Governors. Of that 12, 4 have been members of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. One was Eugene Upshaw, one was John Rice, one was Pastor Smith, and of course myself. And I feel very, very honored today because we did the diversity awards with John Rice, and I've always talked to Pastor Smith about making an impact. And he said, "Bobby, the things you've done on the board with the veterans made an impact." Thank you. Remember, community colleges, empowering community colleges through leadership, advocacy, and support. That's our mission. Thank you.
Okay, everybody should also know that on September 9th this year, Los Angeles Harbor College will induct Bobby McDonald in the Sports Hall of Fame. So I know a number of us look forward to attending that event. Thank you again, Bobby.
Thank you.